Mr. Farage, County Hall in Lancashire. It'd be fair to say, isn't it, this isn't really where your heart lies, local government. You've been on the national, the European stage for 25 years. You're not really interested in places like this other than there being a means to an end, are you?
I'm working in reverse. I started off in international global politics, and then went to Westminster politics, and here I am in Lancashire County Hall today. I tell you what, this matters to ordinary folk. This matters to council taxpayers. This matters to people without much money who hit a pothole and face a huge bill. It matters to people who've got kids that really do have bad educational problems. It matters to elderly people, who need social care. So interestingly, the impact of a county council on a family and on everyday life is probably greater than the impact of national government. I want to be clear. We talked during the campaign when I was up here in Lancashire. I knew we'd do well. I didn't really, in my wildest dreams, think we'd win 53 of the 84 seats, but we have, and we formed a cabinet, and we're bedded in. I'm very proud of what we've done. Now, the challenges that we face are huge. This council is £1.2 billion in debt. The interest payments are £100,000 a day. There was a deeply critical report last year of the special educational needs for children. Almost on the verge of special measures, central government coming in. So I know we face...
That was purely on the special educational needs.
On the special educational needs, massive problems. So I know we face, a heck of a job here. We're going to have the Doge team coming in next week. We believe we will find savings. We will find efficiencies, and we're going to, do our best to tackle these serious problems.
When we did last meet, you said that this council was on the brink of bankruptcy. It's got £180 million of usable reserves. It had to only use £1.5 million of those to balance the books this year. By anybody's definition, that is not the brink of bankruptcy. That's nonsense, isn't it? And you knew that when you said it.
Well, it depends where the reserves are, and it depends how liquid those reserves are. So there are lots of questions around that as well. There is clearly a very serious debt problem here. There are assets as well. We've got to look very seriously at those assets, how realisable they are, and that could be used to reduce some of the debt. But it's not an easy situation.
That debt, though, is not for day-to-day spending. It's for capital investment, as it's called, for investment in those assets that you talk about, schools, roads, maintenance of assets that already exist, and the purchase of others. How can you cut that dramatically? Is it even desirable to cut that dramatically? It's normal to borrow for a council.
Yeah, it is normal, but this is quite excessive compared to other councils around the country, is the point that I would make. Look, we've got a lot to do. We've got our feet under the table. We know what the challenges are. Our cabinet have been appointed. We're looking at the contracts that have been signed. We're looking at the service contracts that have been signed, working out whether we've got the best companies. We're going to bring a fresh, different approach to this, and we're determined to succeed.
Just talking about the Doge team, obviously based on Elon Musk, or modelled on Elon Musk's team of the same name in the United States. Do you really think that after years of austerity and spiralling demand for local authority services, that you're going to find wasted money sloshing around in Lancashire County Council that's just waiting for the singular brilliance of the reformed Doge team to come in and discover it?
Well, you don't know the answer to that, and we don't fully know it until we go in and look. All I do know is that Lancashire County Council spent £500,000 on ergonomic chairs for staff, many of whom work from home.
Can I say, actually, that contract, I've actually looked into that contract, they've only spent 20,000 of it, yet they could spend 520,000 over 4 years.
We will get out of that contract. There's your first saving.
Uncomfortable staff, reform policy.
I'm sorry, but we have to get a sense of perspective here.
Just on those finances, what are the savings an end to? Is it to reinvest, to cut council tax? Or what are these savings you're seeking going to achieve?
Initially, to try and balance the books.
The previous Conservative administration already knew that they had to save 100 million over the next 2 years just to balance the books.
Yes.
You're not going to get beyond that, are you? It's just balancing the books.
But would they have delivered it? That's the point. Would they have delivered it given the previous track record? We need to balance the books. But also, let's try to establish some trust with council taxpayers. Yeah, their council taxes, again, if you look at the cumulative rise in council tax over the last decade or so, it's very significant. It's a big part of household bills. And if we can show them that actually the money's being spent where it really should be spent and not on other things, they'll be pleased.
Just finally, what would you like those Lancashire County Council taxpayers to notice after 12 months of a reform in administration? What would be the takeaway message that you would hope that they would get?
Better value for money for their taxes, and I hope a beginning of an improvement on the pothole situation, where no one really knows what the true figure is.